has this ever been done? I don't think so. Like, let's do it. Then it got exciting.
I love it. Such an honest answer, too.
I was lying the entire time, Renee.
Hey guys, we're with the cast of iCarly. We're going to be playing the Bowl of Question games. We asked some Clevver fans to send in questions for the cast, and we received over 700, so we had to narrow them down. But I feel like we got some good ones. So, is the cast ready to play?
Ready.
So
ready.
Okay, our first question is actually for Miranda, and our fan wants to know, how do you feel about kids watching the show who weren't around when it first came out?
Ooh, well, I think it's really exciting that the show came out on Netflix not too long ago and that so many kids are watching for the first time. And also, even though I think we made this revival with the original watchers or viewers in mind the most, I definitely hope that new people watch it and enjoy it.
I bet they will. I know I grew up watching it. I loved it. I can imagine all the new generations coming in to be obsessed with it. Nathan, we have another fan that asked, since Carly and Freddie were internet stars, who are your favorite internet stars?
Oh, geez. This implies that I actually know anything about the internet in real life, which
That's
is
what's hilarious.
deeply problematic for me personally. I'm more like classic Jack Vale Pooter, like way
What?
back in the day.
What are the words you just said?
No, nothing? Okay, well, man, I like Rhett and Link. Those guys are great. I feel like I resonate with them on a deep level. And yeah, I think Daniel Thrasher is another big one for me. I think he's funny and he even plays the piano in a funny way. But yeah, I'm not hip with all the cool internet folk like the youngins are. So I feel very behind the times and inauthentic in that way.
Well, it's a unique answer. We love a good unique answer here.
Yeah, unique. Thanks for using that word. I appreciate that.
All right, Jerry, another fan asked, will we have some backstory on what happened with Carly, Freddie, and Spencer after the original iCarly finale?
Yes, of course. It's hard because it's a 30-minute sitcom, so you got to get to the good stuff, the new stuff. But we do address everything. We talk about where Carly was after she, went to Italy with our father. We talk about Freddie's, life and marriages in the interim, and we talk about how Spencer sort of came into all of his wealth. All of that will be addressed, but pretty quickly because you got to get to the new storylines. You don't want to just sit there explaining the past, So 10 years ago, you know what I mean? That would get a little boring.
I love it. That's a good answer. Miranda, this is a question I actually would really love to know the answer to with any kind of reboot. Was it difficult resuming your old characters and imagining like what has changed or what has remained the same since the original iCarly, or like tweaking their personalities a little bit to be more mature?
I would say it wasn't hard at all to start playing the characters again, just because I feel like I'm a lot like my character Carly in real life. And it's following all stories of us like in our late 20s, which is the same as me now. So I feel like it was easy to fall back into the character, and also just like the chemistry with these guys. Like I felt like we never left in a lot of ways when we got back on set. The only hard thing was just figuring out like all the characters' backstories and exactly what they'd all been through over the last 10 years.
This is actually a question for all of you. Were you hesitant at all to join the reboot?
Yeah, when Miranda called me sort of mid-quarantine, was like, hey, have you heard anything about our reboot? And I was like, oh my God, are we doing this already? Is this, because, the reboots are in the air, like everybody's doing a reboot. But we very quickly were like, the hesitation just came from, I had no hesitation about working with either of them again. Like they're the best and their family. But the hesitation is like, well, what would we do? Like how, we don't want to do a kids show again. And it would be kind of weird. You guys are in your 20s. We go back and start doing that again. Like, what would that be? And so, but once we started settling in on the idea that it's like, no, life didn't turn out quite the way we expected. We're all back in the mix, and we're going to aim at more, 20-somethings, the people that grew up with the show. Then it started getting exciting and like, has this ever been done? I don't think so. Like, let's do it. Then it got exciting.
I love it. Such an honest answer too. Nathan,
I was lying the entire time, Renee.
fake. It's
I'm
all
reading off a script here. We hesitated at first, and then
Nathan, I'm going to toss this next one to you. What's the biggest challenge on taking on your roles again after a decade?
Oh man, well, that's like these guys were saying. A lot of it was so natural and really kind of easy to do. I think really the biggest challenge for us is we've been in uncharted territory of taking a kid's show that a lot of people knew and loved and transitioning it into this adult show where the tone has changed pretty dramatically and trying to figure out how our characters relate to that. And I think the joy of this has been that, in a way, a lot of experiences that we've had in our real lives have sort of informed some of the things that have happened to the characters on the show. And because of that, it's been extremely collaborative.
That's awesome. Okay, one last question, switching gears a little bit. Fans really want to know what they've been trying to figure out. Are spaghetti tacos really delicious?
Oh, yeah.
They're amazingly good.
yeah, why don't you make them? They're easy to make. Like, yeah, they're delicious. You make the spaghetti, you put it in a taco shell. I add a little meat sauce. I add a little Mexican cheese blend, maybe some pepper flakes. Add sour cream if you're feeling it.
I would say the meatballs are key. That's a big part of it too, is like that chew against the spaghetti taco shell crunch. I think it's all about texture to me. Like, flavor is hugely important, but what's so fun is like you're getting two very different things and they all meld in your mouth, and it's very interesting.
Binging with Babish did like a high-end spaghetti taco where he made the shell out of Parmesan.
That's
He melted Parmesan into a disc, and then he hung it on like a little stick, and then it dried into a shell, and then they used that shell as the. Oh dang!
It's fancy.
Do me one of those. Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Go home and make a spaghetti taco.
Do it.
Thank you guys
And
so
send me
much.
pictures of it on Twitter, because I'll like it. I do all the time.
We'll be looking out for that. You guys, thank you so much for playing the game with us. And of course, make sure to catch the iCarly premiere on June 17th on Paramount+. If you want more on iCarly, click right over here for another Clevver News video. Then let me know down in the comments if they answered one of your questions and how excited are you for the premiere. As always, I'm your host, Renee Ariel. You can follow me on socials at Renee Ariel, and I'll see you next time.